Joining me now is Wisconsin Congressman Tom Tiffany. He's a member of the House Judiciary and Republican Study Committees. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning.
I want to read you something that the Wall Street Journal editorial board wrote with regards to President Trump's federal indictment. They said that Mr. Trump had the right to keep the documents under the Presidential Records Act. But once he received the subpoena for the documents, he should have known he was in legal peril if he concealed them or lied about having them. Now, on the other side, we've had several guests say that the FBI is politicized. Both can be true. Where do you sit?
Oh, it's clearly a political prosecution. And, you know, we have a hearing coming up next week in regards to the Durham report. And I think one of the key things that we're going to find out, so first of all, it's important that we make sure the American public understands that the FBI has been weaponized against the American people. But then it's all about, what are we going to do about it? There needs to be serious reforms of the FBI. And the question is out there, are they reformable? Is the FBI reformable at this point?
But I think that the Journal does make a fair point here that if you compare this to what happened with, say, then Vice President Biden and Hunter Biden and the documents, just former Vice President Biden and his documents that were found, he gave them back. Mike Pence, documents found, he gave them back. But with President Trump, he fought officials when it came to giving back the documents. Is the case different here when it comes to the former president?
Yeah, clearly it's different. That was Vice President Pence. It was Vice President Biden, Senator Biden. That's different than the president. The president has different authorities in terms of being able to handle those documents.
Okay, all right. Let's talk. You just mentioned this. I want to pick up on this, and this is the John Durham side. So former special counsel John Durham is set to testify before House Judiciary. That's next week. So you're going to get a chance to question him about his investigation into the Trump-Russia probe. What can we expect? What do you want to learn from this?
I think we're going to more fully flesh out what is in the Durham report, because the American public largely does not know what's in there. They know what's out there. And I think it's important that we question Special Counsel Durham to find out more information and share it with the American public. And as I said at the top, Cheryl, it's important for us to lay the groundwork for reform with the FBI. I mean, think about it. The FISA process, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance process, was abused by the FBI. We need to decide, are we going to continue to allow them to have the FISA process as it's currently written? Is it reformable at this point? And those are some of the questions that I'm hoping that we ask and hopefully get answers for the American public, because the FBI has clearly been turned against the American people.
You know, Congressman, obviously this is all going into an election where you have the front runner on the Republican side facing federal prosecution, a very serious issue, but also the political side of this as well. I want to bring in pollster Lee Carter into this, because obviously this is more impact than just anyone facing federal charges.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Republican base is supporting Trump through this. Like, there's no question about it. 76% of Republicans say they believe this is politically motivated. Only 12% believe that anything here presents a security risk. They're okay and want to move forward. And 96% of Republicans say they want to hear the Republicans talk about the plans for the country. They say 90% want to hear what they're going to do about inflation. 78% say they want to hear about lower taxes. And very, very few want to hear about these investigations, relatively speaking. So how do you address the American people right now? They want to hear about your plans for the future, what's going to be different. Should a Republican take over the White House? Should the Republicans win back both sides of the House and Senate? What do you say to them when so much focus has been given to these investigations? That's not what they want to hear about.
Yeah, so I think it's one of the real challenges for President Trump as he goes forward is this groundswell from the base that says you're being persecuted. This is a political persecution. Does it translate into votes? Because it's very clear the base believes this is wrong. In fact, many independents believe this is wrong. Does it ultimately translate into votes? I think the question you pose is a very good one.
All right, Congressman Tom Tiffany, we certainly appreciate your time this morning. We'll be looking forward to hearing what comes out of the John Durham testimony next week. Thank you.